Hi, my name is Leonard Holton. I'm a technical trainer here at JEA. Today we're going to go over the equipment needed to properly climb a pole safely. We'll start with the boots. Start with a pair of boots with a defined heel. Defined heel, the heel is actually extended. That's so that when your gaff is on, it doesn't have the tendency to want to slide off. A one-piece sole or a sole that's not defined, the gaffs have a tendency to want to slide off of the back. This is called a set of gaffs. You want to make sure these are properly sharpened. This is the part, the actual gaff that actually holds you in the pole. These are extremely sharp, so they should be covered when not in use. Have a hard hat, protect your head from falling matter. Pair of safety glasses for flying debris. Pair of gauntlet gloves. Say gauntlet. Has an extended piece that goes over the sleeve of the cuff to prevent splinters. You notice I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, button up at the cuff. That's also to protect all exposed flesh and splinters from the pole. We have a climbing belt with a gut strap and a safety strap. And the reason we use a gut strap is so that the as you're climbing and stretching out, the belt doesn't come off your body. This will actually hold it on.
Hi, my name is Virgil Harris. I'm a lineman here at JEA, and I'm going to demonstrate how to properly install your tools to get ready to climb a pole. First, you start off with your gaffs, which are indicated left and right, which tell you which foot to put it on. And when you install them, you want to make sure they're comfortable to where you feel like it's good to climb it. You want to get them snug, but not too tight. And that's properly installing your gaffs. Next, I'm going to install my climbing belt. First, I installed my belt. Now I'm installing my gut strap. Make sure it's nice and comfortable. Okay, once you have all your tools installed and you get ready to climb a pole, you want to approach the pole you're finna climb. First, you're going to want to test it to make sure the pole is safe to climb. In order to do that, we take a hammer and we usually dig out a little bit towards the bottom of the pole, and we rap it a couple of times, listening for sound. You want to make sure it's solid and not hollow. A hollow pole is usually not safe to climb. Next, you want to go and safety off around the pole. Making sure I have at least a bent arm's length in between, comfortable enough so when I'm working I can lean back and work. And next, I'm going to insert my gaff into the pole, getting ready to climb the pole. As you're climbing, you want to keep your legs locked as you're going up the pole. Also, once you're on the pole, we can circle the pole to get to the other side if we have other work to do. Always keeping your legs locked as you do it. And now that you're up on the pole and all your work is done, you must always descend the pole. In order to do that, you want to keep your legs locked once again. Drop your leg, keeping it locked until it's safe to step off the pole. Then unsafety. And that's how you climb and descend the pole.
In In this exercise, we're getting the applicants used to using two hands, working off the pole and trusting the equipment. So we'll take a football, make them throw it amongst themselves. They'll do that at the 10-foot level, 15, 20, 25, and 30 foot. And if this were a true climbing school, even though I just got 2 in the background, it would be between 8 and 16 people doing this in a circle. Now that he's climbing proficiently, the applicant is going to install a cross arm and all the associated hardware. Here he's installing his hand line so that the cross arm can be pulled up to him. Here the cross arm's being pulled up and the cross arm weighs approximately 50 pounds. Here he unties it. The guy on the ground is going to pull it up a little. He's going to lay the cross arm across his belt, grabs it, and installs it in the hole. Now he's just installing the nuts and bolts, tighten them up. Next he's going to pull the braces, tighten those, and then up comes the hardware to support the wire, the conductor. Here he's getting ready to install the braces. Next, he's installing an insulator, which we call a JD. Here he's about to install a post top insulator. And that's it, that's the installation of the cross arm. After the installation of the cross arm is complete, the applicant will disassemble and send it all back to the guy on the ground. In this exercise, which we call sagging wire, the applicant is going to have to use a set of jack straps, which is a set of blocks, to properly sag wire, get it under tension, and securing this wire onto a connection which we call a catch-off bell. That we're getting the applicant used to reaching out, trusting his equipment, and using 2 hands. Once he gets the proper tension, he'll secure it into a what we call a mouse trap or a catch-off bell. Once the wire is secure, he'll undo it and send it down to the guy that's on the ground. The last and the hardest thing during climbing school will be the cross arm pass. That's where the applicant takes a cross arm and he passes it up the pole, starting at the 10-foot level and goes up to 30 foot. It's hard because it requires a lot of physical strength, a lot of trust, you're trusting the equipment, and also a lot of balance because you have a 50-pound cross arm across your belt and you're trying to maneuver it around the pole into your pole buddy. And it goes, like I said, from the 10-foot level up to 30 and then back down. And anytime you drop that during the test, you have to start over. The line maintainer apprentice program is a tough and challenging job, but the end result is well worth it. It pays well, and it's a self-gratification thing because not everyone can do this, and I kind of look forward to training you guys.